As usual, I'll be giving you guys an overview of the birds I've seen in both aquatic and terrestrial habitats. In addition, we'll take a look into my fridge where a war is being waged on a microscopic scale. Welcome to this week's Wildlife Vlog. Not a week goes by where I don't see Canadian geese. Here you can see them congregating around the Huntley Meadows boardwalk. A little bit more interesting to me was this cluster of American coots filmed on the Potomac River. As you can see, the water is quite choppy, but these American coots seem to be taking the rough weather pretty well. Some birds would rather just not be bothered with that mess, so they elect to stay on dry land. Take this mourning dove, for example. It's perched in a tree near the Huntley Meadows marshland. And what do trees get in return for being a sturdy purchase for birds to land on? Well, they get woodpeckers picking through their flesh to get insects. The holes that woodpeckers drill into these trees can do some pretty major damage, allowing pathogens like bacteria and fungus to get into the tree, infecting it. Of course, this is of no concern to the woodpecker, it just wants to find something to eat. Interestingly, birds only defecate from one opening, called a cloaca. In case you missed it, here's a perfect example. And you know what else poops? Microscopic crustaceans. I'm guessing that ridiculous answer distracted you, so let's take another look at the act in question. But if you want to see something disgusting in the microscopic world, you don't have to look underwater. All you have to do is open your fridge. Of course, this is a moldy hunk of cheese, and if you look closely, there are actually several different types of mold growing on it. You can see on one side there's the penicillium, one of the most common forms of mold we find on food, and the source of one of our major antibiotics, penicillin. At the other end, we have a unidentified white mass. To me, this scene was just as exciting as Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, so I set up my microscope to capture this microscopic clash on film. Needless to say, I was very disappointed. Both mold colonies were dead before the battle even started. It turns out that I might have raised the temperature a bit too much by putting my hot microscope right over the mold colonies. They were used to the colder temperatures of my refrigerator. I won't make this mistake next time, and I'll try to have a good time lapse for you guys next week. That's about it for this week. If you liked my work here, you should check out my Instagram, where I have all sorts of cool wildlife pictures. See you guys next week.